We're live. Good morning, hello, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have Blanton Single Batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, introduced in 1984. They claim to be the first single barrel. I said single batch. Single barrel whiskey. It's sold in the United States, around the world. It runs about $60 a bottle. Some people tell me they got to pay more for it. I know it's 60 here. Hold on, I want to mark something down. Okay, good. I saw some of it coming into a store just yesterday, or was it Wednesday? It was this week for sure. Not rare in Louisiana, but other places said it can't find it. Oh yeah, the proof is, I should have written that down on my description. That was silly. Knew I was forgetting something. I was like, what am I forgetting? This was bottled in 2014. This one here is nearly 6 years old. Oh yeah, 93 proof. 93 proof. Now I have a video posted on my page showing the Blanton's bottling house. I have a number of videos from there showing them they're gluing these on by hand. So it's very interesting. I was in there for about 20 minutes or longer watching them, and you could smell the bourbon because they had this big vat, and they were sucking it out of the vat with hoses and bottling it. So didn't cost any money. Free parking, free tour, free everything, free samples. Competitor from 2018, Jim Beam Repeal Batch, 86 proof. So I'm gonna have to update that in the description later, but it's just an oversight. This is a limited edition, but it's still on the shelves. So how long is it limited for? Years, I guess. I shouldn't be smart aleck. Constant quality, emblem of excellence, non-chill filtered. I should have put that in the description also. Hi from Ireland, says Neil O'Connor. Hello to you from Ireland. Welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I know it's daylight where you are, of course. Midday, but it's still dark here, 5:34 Central Time. So that's JB, Jim Beam. Here's the other bourbon over here. Got tags. I don't think I'm going to need tags because I don't think it's going to be that much of a contest. I can't see Jim Beam Repeal Batch beating Blanton's. But crazier things have happened. So here's the real cork. And there's horse and jockey. And this is S. Each time they come out with a different letter, S, for Blanton's. And people like to collect all of them. Collect all the different caps. Have all the different bottles on display, which it's cool. It's like a big event, when people can run and get Blanton's. Now, the thing about Blanton's, though, I'll say it's not rare here. It's not like you're going to see it on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? People will know it's coming out. They'll talk to certain grocery stores, because we have grocery stores, liquor sales here, and they'll say, when it comes out again, I want my bottle or my 2 bottles. So they'll hold it for them. And the grocery store will call the people. It's the Blanton's is here, and they'll come pick it up. So if you don't reserve it, it's not going to be there. It's some of these specialty beers you can find on the shelf. Found at CBS. They still have it over here at Mathern's. Bourbon County Stout from Goose Island, still on the shelf. Yeah, 10 years ago, those would have been gone in one day. One day, they'd have lasted one day. But then the hype dies down, and then people are off to something else, Well, let me go run after this. But Blanton's is holding its hype. You won't see it lingering around. Now, Robert, the whiskey scout, so he remembers 20 years ago, it'd be on the shelf, just normal, you know, the Blantons. Just you go in the store, you see it. And then this whole single barrel thing took off the last 20 years, and bourbon went crazy, and everybody was like, you know, oh, I got to get this, I got to get that. I got to make sure everybody sees me with it, you know, that kind of thing. So we have a group on Facebook called Alcohol Eggs. And you can kind of do that in that group. Say, look what I got. Ha, ha, ha. You know, look what I've got. People will say, oh, wow, I wish I could get it. You know, how is it? Because I like people to put a score, you know, how do you score it, you know? And I'll sometimes be, oftentimes, I'm one of those people saying, oh, how is it? I wish I could have it. Let's look at some. Okay, now, Blanton's is saying, here's their website. Now, they got the original, but there's so many others you can only get overseas. So, supposedly, Blanton's used to only be sold overseas, and they made it for the U.S. market. So they're saying original single barrel. Nose, vanilla nose, citrus and oak palate. Taken from the center cut or middle sections. Center cut, that's the fancy way of saying the middle section of the famous Warehouse H. Blanton's original single barrel was once designated for ambassadors, dignitaries, and Colonel Blanton's family and friends. Today, everyone has access to the world's first single barrel. Well, assuming you call the store and make a reservation for it. The taste profile is sweet with notes of citrus and oak. The creamy vanilla noses teased with caramel and butterscotch, all underscored by familiar baking spices such as clove, nutmeg, or cinnamon. I haven't picked up all those attributes, but then my abilities are probably much more limited than the people writing this. Blanton's original set the standard for single barrel bourbons in 1984. Best served neat. There it is, neat or on the rocks. Bottled at 46.5% alcohol by volume. Now they got select ones that you can't get in America. You got to get it in international markets. The Gold Edition. Straight from the Barrel Edition. Special Reserve Edition. So too bad for you and me. It's never too late to celebrate the end of Prohibition, says Jim Beam. The Repeal batch. Great big flavor from the good old days. Non-chill, filtered for a taste that harkens back to the big, robust flavors of post-Prohibition whiskey. A taste of grainy oaky with a little bit of sweetness, char, and fruit. Oaky notes balanced with light vanilla and a hint of brown spice in the nose. And the flavor is char and caramelized tones. Somebody needs to learn how to write and put commas and proofread char and caramelized tones. Enhanced with sweet lightness. Can't believe a big company like this has such a glaring mistake. But I guess I shouldn't be shocked now. Okay, so you can see the Blanton's is deep copper. Wow. And the Jim Beam Repeal batch is just copper, not so deep. Look. Let's get something straight. The Blantons is $60 a bottle. Okay, that's if you're lucky. The Repeal batch I got for $12.87 for that bottle. I was lucky though, because most places had it for about $15.99, $16.99. So $16 or $17, maybe even $18. But the Jim Beam Repeal batch I can get for $12.87 at Walmart. If there's any left, it might be gone now. And the Blantons I can get at Mathern's for $60, about maybe a little more. But I would have to ask, hold some for me. Because if I went over there now, he would say, all these bottles are, they got people coming to pick these up. And they're reliable people. You know, they hold it for people. They know they're going to come get it. You know what I mean? They're going to come buy it. And it's always the same people. And they're going to always buy it. And they're going to buy more and a whole lot more. You say, that's people with money, huh? Yes. That's people that live in your parish. That's like the chief engineer at Marathon or the whatever at DuPont, something like that. That's right. President of the country club, all these type of things. Am I jealous of that? No, why would I be jealous of that? I'm a free market person. But of course, you could be a supporter of free market and still be jealous, I suppose. You know, be free enterprise and jealous, but I'm not. The beer ambassador says, hello. Hello to you. Now, here we go. I don't want to look too carefully at these glasses because I'll be able to tell them apart by the virtue of Blanton's darker appearance. Now, when we were on the tour 3 years ago, the lady was like, no, it was a man. It was a man. He says, well, or it might have been in the Blanton 1792 tour, but it's the same company anyway. Blanton 1792 and Buffalo Trace, both owned by Sazerac. But she said, I think it was the woman. She said, you know what makes single barrel so special? And we were saying, no. We were curious, you know, and she says, it's just, they just grab a barrel. It's not really special. That's what she was saying. It's really not special. They just grab a barrel from the middle, put a date on it, barrel number, whatever, fill it out. It doesn't really mean it's better than if you blended barrels together, and it might be inferior, but you think, oh, it's a big deal, you know, it's a single barrel. And so you buy it and you pay $60. Whereas Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, for instance, are just ancient age that they make it Buffalo Trace or Old Charter or Barton, not Barton 1792. Well, that's not single barrel. So although I think they mix them, they're blended in the sense that they're blending barrels of straight bourbon together. You know, they're taking different barrels, high, middle, low, cold area, heated area, moderate temperature area, and they are blending all those straight bourbons together to get the perfect Jim Beam. You know, so it tastes like the same every time. The quintessential Jim Beam, because barrels will vary barrel to barrel. And they say it's strange, you know, because it'd be in the same temperature range, but there's like variables even the companies don't understand chemically why it does that. But same thing with like Budweiser. I use that as a beer example. It's blended with different aging tanks together into the quintessential Budweiser taste, because you could get different aroma and flavor notes aging tank to aging tank, but they don't want that. They don't want every time you buy Budweiser it's going to taste different. They want it to be the same. But the single barrel, that's the adventure for people. You see, it may not be like really actually better than the others, but each time it's going to be a little different because of the barrel variety. You know, the variables. They allow the variables to be in play, and people like that. Now, is it going to be a great difference? Probably not. A lot of it might just be in your head, and you're saying, oh, I remember in 2007, 2007, the Blantons had in the spring season, had a slightly more fruity taste than the 2017 fall, and somebody'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was so taken by that. And then we were sitting around. Remember we were at the convention, the North American Single Barrel Bourbon Convention, and Gary Epting was speaking. Remember he presented that paper, Barrel Character, Differences during the Middle Ages and whatever, you know. And I'm not saying that people doing that are pretentious, because they might really be into it just like nerdified, like me with some stuff. But some people, like, they're doing it to show off, like, look at me, you know, look what I'm drinking. I'm so much better than you. Joe Biden's interest, single barrel equals marketing. Exactly. And I like Sazerac, though. They'll just tell you that. They'll just tell you up front, yeah, it's a gimmick, but people love it, so we do it. You know, they don't make any bones about it. And I like gimmicks too, so I don't care. Oh, this one smells. I'm trying to figure out what that smells like. Like an old horse barn. I don't think the bourbon's supposed to smell like a barn, a horse barn. Hey, but I didn't make it. I just poured it in the glass. Let's go over here. Oh, yeah, that smells like bourbon. Oh, it's so corny. Oh, that bottle of Blanton's. I didn't buy it. Sonya gave it to me. She said she couldn't drink bourbon anymore, so she gave it to me. She said, you can have it. I said, I'll take it. You don't have to tell me twice. And I got like a 95% filled bottle. Just same with the Woodford Reserve. She said, you can have it if you want it. I just said, oh, look at these two. I was at her house. I said, look at these two. And she said, I was making mint juleps with them, but you can have them if you want them. You know I'm not going to turn that down. Just like 10 years ago, no, probably was like 6 years ago. She said I could have the Sazerac rye, but she had never even opened. I don't know why she didn't drink it. I guess she thought rye and she went, bleh. You know, she might not like rye bread or something, but I love that stuff. Boy, that was dynamite. I did a video too, and that was a jewel. Oh, this is so corny. It is so corny. It smells like cornbread. I'm telling you the truth. And it must be the Jim Beam. Somebody had posted a video a couple of days ago saying, or it might have been yesterday, saying, can whiskey go bad? And I was thinking, can whiskey go bad? I never heard of something like that. But I don't know. I noticed when I went to pull the cap off of this, it was not that tight. It isn't really that tight now. So I'm wondering if pressure could have helped lift it. And then like other aromas got in it, like humidity and mold. Because you know in Louisiana, we got a lot of mold and stuff. The smell isn't so great. And I've opened caps of whiskey in the past, like this past week, where it went, psh, it released pressure. Now, I got enough sense to know that if you cap something, right, and a month later you open it and it goes, psh, and you hear gas being released, that pressure built up in it. So why would pressure be building up in the whiskey? So see what I'm saying? Something changed. So in aroma, I know that's got to be Blanton's, but I'm not going to glance at it. That's got to be Blanton's. It doesn't smell too good if you like the smell of old horse barn, but I'm trying to be euphemistic. That one smells fine, you know, if you want to smell cornbread all the time, which I wouldn't necessarily want to do. Corn grits, yeah. Cornmeal. I ought to go get that canister of Quaker grits and smell it. I bet it smells a lot like this. Although the Quaker, okay. The Quaker is white hominy. This would be using yellow corn. Taste time. I already think I know which is which. Wow. Mamma mia. My. It's pretty strong. Charred, woody, hefty, bold, whatever you want to say. But then again, to be fair, it just tastes like regular old bourbon, okay? You know what I'm saying? I'm not tasting $60. I'm tasting just regular old bourbon. When I was a little kid, like 5 years old, 6 years old, nobody was like excited about bourbon. They would drink it, you know. I'm gonna drink it, but all this running to the store to pay $60 for a bottle of bourbon, all that, getting on a waiting list, people didn't do that. In fact, close 45 years ago, bourbon was kind of on the skids, like was kind of losing popularity. It had lost popularity. In 1975, people wanted to show off by drinking vodka or gin or even brandy, more like, you know, like that kind of thing. But how times have changed. Single barrel reserve small batch. Wait, Old Horse Barn will sell out guaranteed. Old Horse Barn single barrel reserve small batch. Yeah, you know, hey. The girl at Blanton said, "You know what a small batch is?" And we didn't know. We said, "No." She said, "All that means is just less. All that means is it's just less than the regular batch. There's no how much less, no percentage requirement. It's just like, say you make Jack Daniels and you normally make this much, and you would have stats to show that. And then you make a small batch, it would just be smaller than the normal batch." She said, "It doesn't mean it's small. It's just small relative to the normal batch. It might be, you know, Jack Daniel's small batch might be bigger than almost everybody else's big batch." So what she was saying is, yeah, it's just like a marketing thing, you know, it's people, but they buy it. So if I could charge $70 and you buy it, I'm gonna charge $70 and let you buy it. Okay. You can't say that people were cheated because nobody made them buy it. It's not like they were compelled to buy it. They just wanted to buy it. Okay. This one tastes so standard, man. This one is just corn, oak, char, vanilla, everything. I was about to say, I was going to say this live on air. I caught myself. You saw me pause. I was about to say, man, you know, all these bourbons, it really just kind of tastes the same. But I didn't say it. I didn't want to say that on air because people would say, "Oh, I'm going to get off of your channel, fool," because they don't. I paid $75. You're going to tell me it's the same? Yeah. So, I mean, I got to catch myself sometime because I don't want to be caught out, you know? So I'm going to say, "Oh yeah, you know, this is really something else, you know, but this one isn't." I have to maintain appearances, you know. I got to keep up appearances, you know, show, look how good I am at bourbon tasting. Ain't it amazing? So I'm glad I didn't say they all taste the same on air. I mean, generally the same, you know what I'm saying? Well, that one has a bolder, higher alcohol taste, kind of like, it's 93 proof. The other one's 86. So, I think it's Blanton's, all right. It's got stronger proof. I mean, the proof's in the proof. And the Jim Beam is like lower proof. Okay, duh. Common sense. Yeah, hey, gotcha, feel you. Now, look what I'm tasting. Am I finding out one is $60 and the other one is 13 and it's $47 better? That's if you're lucky, it's $47 better, because you're probably going to be paying $57 more for Blanton's if you want to be techno. But let's lowball it to be safe. Is the Blanton's $47 better than the Jim Beam Repeal batch? No way. No way. Ain't no way this guy's paying $47 more for what? A horsey? so I can collect all the little horsies and the jockeys and tell everybody, look at me. I'm not against doing that. I'm not ridiculing that. I'm saying I'm not doing it. All right. Sometimes people take things wrong. Like they'll say I'm attacking. I'm not attacking. I'm just talking about it. I mean, the Jim Beam Repeal batch has a lot of character, has a lot of good things going for it. What's the bad part of it? There is no bad part. Now I could say, well, it tastes like corn. Well, I mean, they all taste like corn. That's what bourbon tastes like, you know? So I can't even go there because it wouldn't even make any sense. Gonna drink corn liquor and fuss because it tastes like corn. I mean, that's kind of like idiocy that I'm not gonna get involved in, you know? But I just don't find that so far. Now it could change. But so far, I'm not finding that the big price differences is justified, okay? Man, look, I got it. Well, I drank it all, but I had Ancient Age, $9.99 a bottle. $9.99. It was going toe-to-toe with all of these other expensive ones. It wasn't getting beat up. All it was doing was justifying why it should be purchased over these. You want to be honest. Now, I'm not talking about blended bourbon like 10 High. That's really cheap, but that's blended bourbon. That's a different animal. I wouldn't feel as comfortable. You know, it's kind of a crossover. I don't like the cross line. Taking a blended bourbon, you know, comparing it to a straight. That's kind of that's getting a little cuckoo, you know, like comparing single malt scotch to blended. I mean, you could do it, but it's not gonna match up too well. It's like saying, well, that black and white TV it's not as vibrant and enjoyable to watch as the color television. Well, yeah, I mean, because, you know, I don't have the heart to tell my brother I prefer $30 Elijah Craig to his gift of $110 Jefferson's Ocean Bourbon. Right, because then people get upset, offended, or they might just say, you're stupid, you don't understand bourbon. That's the luxury of doing these videos or not doing the videos. You don't have to understand bourbon. You know, you could just drink it. Like my friend Paul, he called me and interrupted my rum taste challenge last night, but I called him back. He didn't care. He let me finish it. He's the one that says, why do you have to know about beer, you know, really? You know, he's like, he was saying, like, why couldn't you just taste it and tell people if you like it or not? I said, right, you know, you just taste it. I mean, you get experience. You could read about it, learn. But he said he used to live in the Woodlands, Texas. He moved more out into the country west of that. But he was saying that they're all pretentious like that over here. You know, he goes to wine tastings and he said, oh, you know, you just want to pull your hair out. He says it's kind of fun to go to him because it's like entertainment of this preposterous talk, you know. He's thinking to himself, really it tastes like mud, but they're all going on and on. Oh, I noticed that the prune notes this year are much less pronounced than in 2016 when I was talking to Gary Ibeck. Remember, he did the presentation at the Temple wine event, and he just like shaking his head like, go, good grief. He's an attorney out there. He just can't get over it. You know, it's so funny. Anyway, I got to get off. I can tell you some other funny stories about his experience. But all right, so I think this is Blanton's, but I'm not seeing where it's. I mean, it might be better. I'm not even saying it's better. You say, oh, your channel is dead now. Well, if it's dead, but let it die. It's been a nice run, but I don't even say it's better. It's nice, but better. You say so, but okay. So the tag's gonna tell the story. I knew it was Blanton's. Yeah. I guess it's better. But I'm not really sure. And people might say, you got to say it's better. Only a fool would say it's not better. Okay, well, I don't believe that. I'm not a fool, and I don't think it's that much better. But I paid $12.87, and you want to pay $65? Go ahead. It's your money. Hope you enjoy drinking it. I'm sure you will. All right. Thanks for watching this video production. We'll be back in some days with more taste challenges.